And time for a confession. No, I've not been making inappropriate suggestions to June. Rather, it appears I committed a hate crime at the weekend. Now, I thought I was just buying a newspaper that had an offer to save me about £5 on some Christmas wrapping paper. However, in the eyes of an arrogant, intolerant, self-appointed bunch of trolling activists, clearly with nothing better to do, I was perpetuating hate in buying that particular paper. Shame on the store involved in the promotion, Paperchase, for bowing down to such a small bunch of misguided zealots and rapidly issuing a craven apology. They're definitely off my Christmas card list this year.
Well, first of all, I don't believe you. I don't believe that you did buy the paper to get a reduction on your wrapping paper.
I bought the paper anyway.
Because I know you don't wrap your own Christmas presents, Nick Ferrari. Well, at the end of the day, clearly Paperchase customers don't want them to be affiliated with the Daily Mail. They're listening to their customers.
Well, let's explore that, Carol, because I wonder, the 3 to 4, let's be generous and say 500 people, I wonder how many were Paperchase customers, Carol.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think they've scored a massive own goal here. I think there was 4 million people who read the Daily Mail every day. I think many, many thousands of them will not go to Paperchase again. I won't. I will never go again. What you don't expect is Paperchase. I mean, what a bunch of gutless idiots they are. When I read that apology, it looked like it had been written by a 15-year-old teenager who'd been told off by his teacher.
Greg, I'm going to bring you in. Let's just so that some viewers might not be fully up to speed. Yeah. So just give me about a minute of your time. This is how it all started. The paper comes out with this promotion. And Stop Funding Hate, the group that Carol says, quotes, after a torrid few weeks of divisive stories about trans people, is a Daily Mail promotion really what customers want to see from Paperchase? Hashtag start spreading love. Hashtag stop funding hate. And then we hear from various users, wow, really disappointed my favourite stationery shop supports this disgusting hate-spreading excuse for a newspaper. An appalling decision. Thanks, Paperchase. These evil, hate-fomenting rags do nothing to enhance product branding. And I finish, Greg, before I bring you in. Well, this is what came from Paperchase within about a day and a half. Quotes, we've listened to you about this weekend's newspaper promotion. We now know we were wrong to do this. We're truly sorry. We won't ever do it again. Thanks for telling us what you really think. And we apologise if we'd let you down on this one. Lesson learned.
How is this a bad thing?
Great.
When I saw this story over the weekend,
did you think?
I thought, oh, God, I know what Nick's going to do on this. I was so certain.
Why on earth would you think that, Greg? I can't possibly.
I mean, it's not that you're a bit sycophantic towards the Daily Mail, but what I find interesting is, I mean, the numbers are small. The number of people who complained is small. So why did Paperchase do what it did? And I came to...
You mean the apology?
Yes.
Yeah, not the promotion.
Yeah. No, not the promotion. The apology. I came to the conclusion that actually they worked out that the 4 million readers means that there's sort of 50-odd non-readers. And actually, there's a lot of people... And Paperchase have just turned the story. Those of us who don't like the Daily Mail will now go into Paperchase. And I think there are many more of us than there are of you.
I think Greg has a point. I think you absolutely have a point.
But this group was citing... So first of all, they've been going on about immigration. And then suddenly they turned to the story of the moment, which is trans people, and cited an article by Sarah Vine, which actually didn't say anything bad about trans people.
No, but the whole point of Stop Funding Hate is about the general tone of the Daily Mail's reporting. So it's not just one issue.
Strangely quiet, actually.
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying this. It's absolutely hilarious, Nick. You're such a drama queen. The reality is, all publicity is good publicity. I completely agree. I actually... I'm not somebody who's particularly passionate about the Paperchase brand, but I will make a point of going into Paperchase. And you know what? I think, Carol, I think you're taking it a bit too literally, because I don't think this is because of one particular story in the Daily Mail, what Sarah Vine did or didn't say. I think Paperchase is a brand that sells fluffy cards and gift wrap and feel-good products.
Feel-good products.
Even people who read the Daily Mail religiously, looking at you, Nick, would not stand here and say the Daily Mail is a paper with a reputation for feel-good material. It's a clash of brands, and from that perspective,
this is actually against the democratic process.
Yes. How?
Because listen to me, you don't have a right not to be offended in this country. As long as I don't say something racially motivated
but that's got nothing to do with
Hold
this.
on. You have and we live in a rowdy and rambunctious West
That's
where
right.
newspapers can take certain rights.
Precisely.
You're not mandated to buy
That's
this
a ridiculous
newspaper.
thing to
No,
say.
it's true.
This isn't about banning a political party.
At
This is
all.
about a marketing decision by a private company that was collaborating with the newspaper. This
And
is
saw
a
how
democratic
Nick, one
issue.
moment,
These
saw
people-
how its customers responded to it being
handful.
affiliated with
500 replies
Whatever.
to
No,
the
but-
tweets.
But that's what I'm saying.
500.
But for
that's why
those
you-
that don't actually email in, you know that there's a whole slew of people who agree with that
That's why you do have to say,
viewpoint.
why did they do it? Because
Yeah.
it was only 500. And therefore, I do genuinely think someone took a very smart decision and said, look, there's more Daily Mail haters than there are of people who buy it. So let's
tell you,
go for them.
This campaign has tried in the past to stop stores such as John Lewis, Waitrose and
Waitrose,
Marks and
yeah.
Spencer's advertising with the Sun,
Without
the Mail.
success.
Yes, John Lewis, when confronted, said withdrawing advertising on the basis of editorial coverage would be inconsistent with our democratic principles, which include freedom of speech and remaining apolitical. And that is the
And
truth.
this group champions itself as a purveyor of
is
free
the
speech,
truth.
and yet it does.
Listen,
I just want to do a quote here. I've got a quote here from David.
Okay, Carol and I have your quote off. Carol, you go
It's
first.
deeply worrying that Paperchase should have allowed itself to be bullied into apologising to internet trolls orchestrated by a small group of hard-left corporatist individuals seeking to suppress legitimate debate and impose their views
All
on
right,
media.
my turn.
See you, Gracie.
My turn.
Go on.
Paperchase. We frequently trial new brand campaigns for Paperchase and have taken the commercial decision not to repeat this promotion following significant levels of feedback from our customers in store and online. Nothing about cowing to snowflakes or Corbynistas.
They've never advertised with the Daily
So-
Mail, never
bit
before.
disingenuous.
It is very disingenuous.
So my girlfriend's mum, right,
Yeah.
who's a nurse, who
Yeah.
likes to buy the Daily Mail, she's full of hate, is she?
No, that is not
that what I said?
that's
No,
what
but
you
I'm
said.
just positing this one. So she's full of hate, is she?
No,
she's not.
No, but
And
that's
these
not
people-
what
by the way,
not what anybody has
I
said.
persuaded my mum to stop buying the Daily Mail. It took me about 3 years. Well, because they were so rude about me when I was running the BBC.
Yeah, that's when I started reading it.
I know. They were so rude that I persuaded my mum to stop buying it. And the moment I left the BBC, she went back.
Yes, good old mum.
I would just say about the Daily Mail, you aside, because you're a special case, I think there are a lot of people who read the Daily Mail who don't do it because it makes them feel good about themselves. They do it because they can't help but look it's very, the gossip stories in the Daily Mail.
Yeah, well,
the
we all go
celebrity stuff.
online.
It's completely
yeah.
addictive, and I think there are a lot of people who read it in spite of their better self.
It's a championing paper. It actually it launches. It makes great campaigns. Stephen Lawrence.
Yes.
Let me tell you about the Daily Mail when I was at the BBC, because the Daily Mail, we did a piece of research and we found that Daily Mail readers were more likely to support the BBC. And you thought, hang on, I agree with you. I think a lot of people, they buy the Daily Mail for what they think are the good stories, what they're interested in, and they're not Daily Mail stories.
Are you telling me you'd never read the Daily Mail?
I try actively to avoid.
Mail
I
online?
never buy the Daily
Of
Mail.
course you read the
and,
Mail
and,
online.
and I'm one of those people who occasionally reads a celebrity story and then hates
Mail
myself for
online?
it. Yeah, that would be the Mail Online, the female.
So you do read that?
I try
Yeah, of
not to,
course.
but
We all
I try
do.
not to, and there is a serious side to this. And I'm not a member of Stop Funding Hate or whatever they're called, but
Yet.
there are times when I think the Daily Mail has run stories that are a disgrace, like the attack on the judges, for example. I thought that was a serious violation of the principles of our democracy. Some of the stories about refugees and immigrants, they have real-life consequences for people who are visibly different, and I don't think
So
that's
they
funny.
produce more than 300 editions every year, sometimes running to 88 pages, and occasionally they get a story wrong, as Carol said. Let's look at what they have
Massive
achieved.
campaign.
The racist murderers of Stephen Lawrence, the campaign to stop plastic bags, more money being given to Grenfell than any other news organisation. Should we just bear that in mind?
I'm not calling for the Daily Mail to be shut down.
No, but
I believe in freedom
that's
of
the
press.
case.
I do pick it up occasionally, and I and I don't ever buy it, but I pick it up occasionally, and you go through it, and I can say, that's a good story, that's a good story, that's a good story. No, that's a Daily Mail story. In other words, that's one the editor likes. It isn't really a story at all. And I always remember the Daily Mail reporter coming to, when I was at the BBC, coming to a press conference, and the Daily Mail reporter asked the question. I said, you've run that 3 times already. And she said, yes, my editor likes the story.
Well, there we are. Good. Well,
But the funny thing about like groups like Stop the Hate, I mean, all the things that they rail against...
Stop funding.
Stop the funding. What did I say?
Stop the hate.
Yeah,
Stop the war. You're getting confused with Stop the War. Stop funding.
You want to remember one...
Groups like this...
She loves war.
They never actually tackle the inequalities that they're talking about. All they do is launch witch hunts against people and destroy reputations.
That's what they do.
But what they're there to do is to raise awareness. And at the end of the day, Paperchase, as Afua said, it's a private company. They have a right to decide who they want to work with.
Buy in there
We're coming to the end of this. I just want to leave you with this line. In a television interview, the founder of Stop Funding Hate said, the end point for us is a media that does the job we all want it to.
Which is?
Now, for those of us in the media, you should be very, very chilled.
But what is
sentiment.
that? He has to clarify
train home.
He can't
have it on the bus.
No, I need something to light the fire with.
Okay.